as you can see, I am not Potter. My name is Rishi. I'm the head of BD at Sign. Sign is building infrastructure for companies. So one of our main products is called Token Table, and we help companies with airdrops, unlocks, any sort of token distribution.
Hey everyone, it's Fuji, Lead of IZUMI Finance. We're building DApps as a service, and also we build Uniswap and multi-chains. Thank you.
Nice.
Hey everyone, I'm Jared. I'm a strategy advisor at Galaxy. We have a suite of Web3 products, probably best known for our Quest platform, but we also have some AI tool that we're developing to help people research about crypto, a tool to help people learn how to do airdrops or look for airdrop opportunities, and some digital identity tools as well. It's galaxy.com is where we're at. Nice to see everyone here.
This is Andrew, the co-founder of Fira. So Fira is a privacy infrastructure leveraging FHE homomorphic encryption. We currently have the fastest and most efficient FHE algorithm, and it's all published. You can look up our research paper. We barely started a month ago, so yeah, I needed to come. Thanks for sharing, guys.
Nice one, man.
Hi everyone, my name is Andy. I'm the head of strategy for memecoin. We are the layer 1 cross-chain mainnet for memecoins.
Alright, thanks Andy. So, first question to Andy is, what are the upcoming developments, with your DApp and ecosystem? How are you building memecoin right now?
Yeah, right now we're just kind of testnet. I think that thinking about DApps that we want to get to memecoin, I think besides the base, DeFi's, whatever, GP, AI, whatever it is, but our focus is mainly on cross-chain technology in the initial stage, because we're trying to emphasize also that technology. We're trying to get it whitelisted as well in other pre-existing DApps. But I feel like the position that we have right now is to create DApps focused on memecoins. So we are basically trying to give more utilities on memecoins. We see a new trend that memecoins are trying to build something different. But the approach we're trying to have here is to have something more like a community focus, like community-based projects and DApps, instead of memecoin projects trying to build something out of that. So the initial focus for us will basically be on memecoins, will also be like cross-chain technologies, bridges, and all this.
Thank you, Andy. So, what about yourself? What are the upcoming developments, with your DApps? What are your upcoming developments with your DApps and your ecosystem?
Alright, so for Fira, as I mentioned, we only started about a month ago. We don't have our research paper. Our first product that we're going to deliver is actually our FHDM chain. That's going to launch by the end of this year. So if you do project or launch the apps on our app, we support confidential everything. So we can do DeFi, digital going. So I assume if we trade meme coins, a lot of times we have to worry about our privacy, because I personally launched the course before, and then I don't want some of my personal information to get up there. So for my wallet address and then some of my transaction history. So if you use FHE and use our algorithm, you can cover up your history and then your transaction data or history. So and then our ecosystem is going to look like any kind of project that's focused on privacy, you care about users' privacy, you can launch on our platform. And then we also support FHE machine learning, so you can upload your data. You can do so FHE essentially is you have to decrypt the data, but the machine can process your data. So it's going to be a really new thing that's going to compare to ZK.
Okay. Yeah, I think at Galaxy, probably what you'll see us doing over the next couple months or quarters is trying to just make the user experience a little bit lower in its threshold and a little bit less challenging, because at this point we've on our Quest platform we've integrated a lot of different chains, which is great because it opens up options for the kinds of on-chain tasks that we can verify and the networks where we can offer the rewards. But we realize it doesn't necessarily make the user experience any simpler when there's so many different possibilities like that. So we want to add in some using like abstraction tools and some interoperability on the back end, lower the threshold for participation in the quests, and then we're hoping that that'll, the lower we make the threshold, the more people will participate in the quest, and it'll bring up more success to our partners like memecoin or IZUMI, and they'll have more success on the platform as well. Yeah, so that's what we're working on.
Yeah, for IZUMI, because we've been building the same thing, the concentrated free DApps for like 3 years. So for us, the very recent progress would be like we're building a spot and a perp trading DApps on Flow EVM. Yeah, it's literally today that we will push live their mainnet today. So we will deploy our DApps on day one. Yeah, and for the future steps, I think similar to the previous strategy, we will be the first mover, always be the first mover to chase the first batch of users and cover as many chains as possible.
Thanks, yeah. So with Sign, I think the philosophy has always been very succinct, right? We want to be able to reach, we want to have crypto reach the largest amount of people possible. So one of the products that I mentioned previously was Token Table, right, for token distribution. We've been able to very successfully, airdrop tokens for Zeta Chain, for Starknet's investor token unlocks, for Mocoverse. Quite recently, we've been digging deep into Dawn. We actually had Dogs as airdrop, which had 42 million users claiming tokens across the world. Basically pushing this narrative of crypto to millions, right? We have a whole suite of things that we're working on. So Token Table I've mentioned, we have a digital verification layer through attestations called Sign Protocol, right? Where we are working with identity, we're working with a whole host of other sort of use cases with AI as well, where you're able to digitally verify that this information is what it is and it's a signature. Basically, whatever scales crypto to the masses is what we are being driven by at the moment.
But maybe you keep the mic. So maybe a full-on question is, we are all talking about memecoin and we're talking about layer one and so forth. What do you specifically want to see, in a layer one like memecoin, right? What kind of future do you see in a layer one like memecoin, and what do you think on your end can integrate into such an ecosystem?
Yeah, great question. So I think anything like memecoin does, and whatever we've discussed about memes, the previous panelists have mentioned, I think memes is such a deeply cultural event, right? It's so deeply rooted to what people are and what they believe in. I think it shouldn't matter to the user, right? Like to us it matters because we're the ones building it. But I think my first entry into this whole like meme world was actually 9 when I was 13 years old, right? So I would be seeing memes and sharing all that garbage with my friends. And it's kind of stuck and became billions of people across the world were able to easily access this. So I think the meme core is how do you abstract all the layers of complexity with L1, L2, L3, L7, right? And actually focus on what the cultural significance of something is and how it's actually reaching people. And I think for us, we ideally make the means of what you're trying to say easier, right? Whether it is your tokens or whether it is your information or some way of, I guess Galaxy, for example, for engaging people to continue to stay on the platform. How do we keep people sort of interacting with each other and not having them to care about the entire 25 layers of technology that we use?
What about yourself?
I think because we're yet to finalize the proposal into collaborate with memecoin, so normally there are 2 ways in terms of collaboration, like IZUMI and also everyone, layer 1, layer 2. is the first way we deploy IZUSwap directly to the chain. So you can leverage from the existing user base of IZUMI that we currently have like 2K, still have 2K daily active users right now. Across multi-chains, and like we do have a huge user base who would love to engage in our concentrated liquid mining. Yeah, that should be the way we deal with the emerging layer 2s, especially with EUS, Pro, Nicotine. And for the second way, we rebrand IZUSwap. We're using the same tag behind the same kind of contract, but we changed the contract name. We rebrand to the new DApps, but whatever the name for DApps equals swap. So there are pros and cons. The cons are first, you have to build everything from ground up for marketing, brand, and some necessary integration because from day one we need some tracking platforms like track the primitive. And the fun part is we can issue a new token that is the native token. It's going to be a native token. So basically we go these three. And yeah, in this case, our most notable case was swap. And now we also want to expand to the premium market. So we partnered with Kaya chain. So we're also people behind Kaya swap at the moment.
Nice one, nice one. Jared, what about you? We need the memecoin need more people, you know? And Galaxy is the key.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think where Galaxy comes in, will be on the community building side. Like, obviously, for any project, but especially one that's related to memes, like, community is going to be super important, right? So what we can do is provide you all with the tools where you all can take either social tasks or on-chain tasks, educational tasks, have your potential community members do them. They get rewarded for their efforts. They can, you all can track who's participated the most, and then give additional benefits later on. And then as you all onboard different DApps and partners that you all have, you know, they can come on and run quests as well, and you can post on the meme core space some tasks from your partner stacks as well. Yeah, so we can help in that aspect of just keeping the community engaged and onboarding.
The same tough question for Andrew.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be really something. All the previous three projects were pretty like 12. So at this moment, I wish I had, you know, I really wish I had a say in this, but you know, I'll make a point. Okay, so I think memecoin is really essential for our entire crypto culture, and then I think crypto culture really brings memes add value to the meme itself, and then also to crypto, because back then, like Rishi said, he engaged with me like when he was like 13 on night guy, right? I was doing the same thing, like doing on like buying life stuff. So yeah, I think, you know, onboarding a lot of people by using meme is really a good way to do it. It's really smart. And then so as the founder of Hero, I would just guarantee every user who's using our service, we provide the best privacy and security for them, and then not trying to get their information leaked. Yeah.
That's a good one. And the new developments, maybe.
Yeah, I think that one side is maybe the other way around. But I feel like we need to basically separate like this into two different stages. Like the first stage would be like everyone here is maybe like creating something new, like swap setting. It could be like integrating class, like focus on each work. But I feel like the people that we should target is to have like specific services for this kind of community. The thing that I have, the memecoin community, they're totally different beasts. Totally different like niche targeting from them, right? And I feel like they're even more pickier than other users. So, but if you see like the pump one, the success that they had, it's not because that they were able to mint coins, like have like altcoin or whatever it is. We had this before. but they were able to target specifically this kind of community, create something that they needed, they thought it was fun. So it could be swap, it could be like privacy, it could be privacy, design, whatever it is. I feel like the end goal would be to have something, I would call like more fun, focus on this kind of community, something more a little bit different, right, that we can provide to this kind of end users that we have. So yeah, it's basically.
I think that's good. That's good to know. So maybe the next question is going to be a bit more general. We heard about what you guys want to integrate into memecoin and so forth. And then we see a lot of trends changing. A lot of different blockchain right now are pushing memes. Recently, of course, we see Justin Sun and Tron trying to push really hard. For the panelists, what are some of the trends that you see right now? It could be, the type of memes, it could be the type of blockchain and so forth. Share what kind of trends are you seeing? And what do you foresee in the next 1 to 2 months? What are some of the changes going on?
That's a hard question for me, to be honest. We've seen a huge boom of different projects coming up this past basically a year. I think that the highest boom was after Pepe, like it was launched. We've seen a lot of different meme coins, and recently I think that the trend itself, it's a little bit blurry, to be honest, but we see a lot of adoption from VCs as well, trying to buy meme coins. I feel like VCs are trying to tap into this market and see what's going to go on in the future. But at the same time, like I mentioned before, I feel like meme coins are trying to focus more and more on the utility side as well. Something that one of the speakers said, it was probably was trying from the layer before. It's like we shouldn't, from the beginning, just try to force users to like have something to conference, right? We should take like a step-by-step approach, give something like more lighter to them, something lighter for them to use. But I feel like the trend itself is focused on utility. We see Shiba, we see Bong, we see like all this like could be Memeland, trying to create more utility within the community. But I feel like the biggest advantage that memecoin has is if you have like a product, they focus more on selling the product to then building a community. For memecoins, they first build a community to then create something like a product. And I think that that's a huge advantage, right? Because they have the user base. But now, so the future is what kind of utility, what kind of value proposition you have for your community, besides just like a pump, the price itself. So that's my view on side.
I definitely agree on this opinion because I will expose myself because I launched a token on Solana like 4 months back. Or one of them really early initiated called Multi. You guys are sure. And then so initially we don't want to just make it pump and dump. So we continued to create a lot of content on Twitter, and then we got viral. And then we later on thinking, let's turn it into a utility token. So we wanted to initially create a bot, and then so you can use our token to as multi as a gas fuel. It doesn't work out. And then later on, so back to on the utility opinion, I really agree on that. And then so for the next couple months, I think the trend will be shifted to more about the reality stuff. So if you think about the US election, that's going to be a really hot topic. So I think a lot of the people are trying to, or celebrities, trying to use memecoin as a way for them to make money and then drive followers for them to get attention. So I think it's either going to be more focused on the utility or it's going to be a real life focused token.
Interesting, multi. I only saw Irene posting it, But anyways, what about you, Jerry?
Yeah, those are interesting experiences. Like, I think actually, like from my perspective, I feel like, yeah, it's definitely a challenge to like figure out what kind of utility that you can build with that established community. But I think the harder part is actually just getting to that point, right? Like, how do you stand out amongst all the other memes, and show that you're not gonna rug pull or pump and dump or whatever. And then of course the answer is building that strong community. And then I think what we'll see is that like in my mind, like memes are way more popular than meme coins, right? Like if you look on the internet, like a lot more people trade memes and send each other pictures than the coins themselves. And so it's just about like on the ecosystem side or on the product side, the DApps side, how can you lower the threshold to where everyone who's interested in a meme would also be interested in a meme coin or has that accessibility to where they can purchase one if they want to, and you know, lowering the barrier to entry because every step that they can potentially take to have like whatever's required of them to make that purchase, you're losing people every step of the way, right? So yeah, I think, and then you know, if we can solve that problem, we'll see more meme coins getting popular enough to where like they can start building that utility and leveraging their communities in that way. Yeah, so that's what I say.
Nice one. Fuji, what are the trends? You know, tell us which blockchain should we buy? You know which meme from which blockchain should we buy?
Yeah, for me, actually, to be honest, I don't have much insight on this the meme trend because for me personally, I'm not a meme trader. I think for every trade, it really depends on your ticket size. Yeah, I'm full time in crypto like for 7 years. I only have like Bitcoin and Ethereum in my position. So yeah, I don't trade that often. But when it comes to the development of IZUMI, I would say that we didn't make much more progress on the meme coins, on chasing the meme narrative. It's also because most of the chains we're covering are the emerging layer twos. We tried really hard to probably incubate some meme tokens, meme community on different chains. Like we do have some cases like Learning Chain. We grow with the native coin called Fuji community, and also Voya before they took the version of Learning Chain. Yeah. They've definitely provided us a lot of volume, but for us, I think it's a different sector compared with how we're trying to build, because like meme is more like building their own culture, fusion culture or something, but for IZUMI, we're more focusing on building an intermediary platform for our users. And I will be more focusing on the new primitives that grow with the meme community, similar to the trading bots on Telegram, and also the pump farm fork. Yeah, to be honest, we also we were proposed to fork our LBP pump farm previously, because we found that from the code side, it's like equivalent to the Cooper launch, which is an LBP platform. But yeah, we didn't do that because I think the thesis is also more about operating, what would be the effort to do in terms of operation side.
Fuji seems like the guy who's missing out the 1000x, you know. What about you?
I'm the same way, man. Unfortunately, I'm the same way. But there are three things that I personally seen happen. One is that the formalization of the token launch process, right? There's a very clear, like now there's like almost a method to launching something, right? You have like I think people mentioned here, community driven first, activate the token launch, then give them utility. I think that is one of the pipelines. I think the second one is the simplicity of user experience. I've seen all of these like games, right? Like you've got all the mini apps ecosystems on Dawn, and you've got Pump.Fun, and you've got Polymarket. All of these ecosystems are actually supremely easy to use, so it's open to interpretation, right? So it really dumbs down the experience for the user, but gives them high utility and makes them come back to the platform consistently, right? So I think I see that we'll probably propagate a lot more, and I think finally, I think you mentioned this. I think meme coins are much less in terms of like longevity than the memes themselves, right? So I think there's this return back to lore, right, where people care much more about storytelling than they do about the economics, because I think the economics is only as good as how good the story lasts, right? So you've seen it play out in the NFT market, like, you know, I mean, this year's meme cycle is essentially 2020's OpenSea cycle, because OpenSea volumes were also like kind of crazy, and it's almost comparable to Compound Fund, right? So at the end of the day, I think the ones who tell the best story are the ones that stay. Right? That's why you have the Shiba Inu, the Doges, you have the, you know, name it. And I guess we'll forget the rest because we'll continue to go on.
All right, I have to end the panel, but I think the takeaway is let's do better storytelling and make sure it's sustainable. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.